Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another video. This one's an exciting one. It's the Death Battle versus Cell, and I just smacked my keyboard. Hopefully nothing went fucky. But Cell versus Metal Sonic. I have absolutely no idea how this is going to go. I know Cell. I know his power set. Metal Sonic, nothing. Nothing. But apparently Sonic's power set is fucking crazy. So if it's anything close to that, then, it might go for Metal Sonic. But I don't know. Cell's got that regeneration. I don't know if... Does Metal Sonic have some kind of regeneration ability? I don't know. Nanotech? Maybe? I don't know. But we'll see. So let's get into it.
Cell versus Metal Sonic.
Which copycat android is truly the superior model?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our
That
job
Metal
to
Sonic
analyze
looked
their
cool,
weapons,
though.
armor and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Who would win?
There's a monster stalking Ginger Town.
Starting with Cell.
No one who's seen it has lived to tell the tale. All it left behind was their clothes. Something ate these people's insides, leaving only a shadow behind.
While singing Mr.
Kind of
Sandman.
creature driven only by the need to feed. Earth's new apex predator, the ultimate life form.
The Namekian Piccolo went to investigate this manslayer, and
You want to see
discovered
me
it
drink
was
this guy?
Intelligent. Its
Fucking-
tail could unravel to absorb
Oh,
its hapless
God.
victims
Yeah, no,
and
that's just
add
terrible.
energy to its wretched gestalt.
But the nightmare was only just beginning, because for its last trick, somehow this freak of nature knew the Kamehameha.
The mystery of
Like
this creature's
80% of the
origin was
cast.
decades in the making. Years ago, the world was terrorized by the most advanced paramilitary organization in history, the Red Ribbon Army.
Until they got rocked by this little kung fu gremlin, Son Goku.
But Red Ribbon's dream of revenge lived on within their head scientist,
Dr. Gero.
Hiding away in his spooky cave laboratory, Gero would go to work studying the Z fighters from afar, learning everything there was to know about them.
and building a series of androids that would destroy his spiky-haired nemesis once and for all.
Yeah, except most of them became friends, apparently, in the end, so... poor 16, though.
He made a ton of them. Infinite energy androids, key absorbing androids, trucker head androids, and even... ginger androids.
However, none of Gero's creations were capable of matching that drive to improve that Goku and his fellow martial artists possessed.
Luckily, he had one more android left. A cute little booger so complex he'd take years after Gero's death to complete. Its name was Cell.
Born from a single cell, get it? This android
No.
possessed the genetic information of all the greatest warriors that had battled on Earth, and, when fully evolved, would become unstoppable.
And with their DNA, Cell absorbed all their powers and techniques too.
Common among all of them is the power to manipulate Ki, or the energy that exists in all living things, and weaponize it to fire energy blasts, fly at faster than light speeds, move things with telekinesis, and create force fields.
From the humans, Krillin and Tien, Cell knows the multiform technique, Destructo Disc, and the Tri-Beam, his extra special favorite.
Also the solar
we're
flare.
Not seeing Chaozu on this list. Sorry, bud.
Is Chaozu human?
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe.
Cell can fire the Death Beam, as well as breathe in and travel through the vacuum of space with the alien genes of Frieza and his father.
And because
I think it
he's
just
got
doesn't need to
Piccolo's
breathe.
DNA, Cell can regenerate humongous damage to his body at the cost of some Ki.
Cell has survived having half his body vaporized multiple times, and cannot be destroyed unless the small cluster of cells at the core of his being is eradicated.
Should
Yeah.
that little bugger survive, Cell will always return. Even
And because of his Saiyan DNA, he comes back stronger, unfortunately.
stronger than before because of the Saiyan DNA. he
No,
got
I'm
from
glad they
Goku
got to
and
it.
Vegeta.
I thought for sure they'd forget about that, but no, they got to it. Never mind.
Definitely the cream of the genetic crop.
Sure, he can perfectly replicate attacks like the Gallic Gun, Spirit Bomb, and of course Kamehameha, as well as teleport by locking onto a living being's key signature.
But the best part of being a Saiyan is how much crazy stronger they get every time they almost die.
They can even
Fucking
evolve to
Zenkai
become
boost.
orders of magnitude stronger in the midst of battle. Combine that with Cell's healing factor, and he is effectively the ultimate warrior.
Like a perpetual shonen motion machine.
Driven by a biological imperative, Cell wanted nothing more than to devour Giro's previous androids, 17 and 18, believing it would
To
make
become
him
perfect.
perfect.
Because it
Only
did.
one problem. The Cell we know was born in the future, and both 17 and 18 had been destroyed. So he murdered Trunks and went back in time. Not our Trunks, future Trunks. Well, not future Trunks, but another future Trunks. It's very complicated. There's like 5 timelines.
The alternate
As Cell
future
defeated
Trunks.
and absorbed the androids, he evolved. Not only getting stronger, but changing his personality and developing a lust for battle.
He became less creepy bug serial killer and more, well, Saiyan. After exploiting that very Saiyan arrogance and warrior's pride, Cell finally became perfect.
And easily dominated Trunks and Vegeta, the latter
Yep.
of whom had decades of battle experience under his belt.
Perfect Cell's power was off the charts. He could threaten the whole Earth just by powering up. With a full power Kamehameha, he was even capable of destroying our entire solar system.
While the vast majority of our solar system's mass is located in the sun, this still means that Cell's key wave would have to reach 2.8 billion miles to eradicate every planet.
But Wiz, maybe he was just exaggerating.
Not likely. Cell's claim has been backed up in multiple guidebooks and even demonstrated outright in the video games.
Oh,
Cell's
really?
even stronger in the anime adaptation.
Blew up the solar
considering
system in
the
a
time
game?
Frieza blew up Namek. In the anime, the explosion was literally hundreds of light years wide and lit up the friggin' galaxy.
And Cell was far stronger than Frieza was at that
Oh
point.
yeah,
Hell,
definitely.
the Namekians could sense him all the way from a different galaxy and thought he might be a threat to the whole universe.
He's also incredibly fast, capable of blitzing even the strongest Z fighters at the time. Goku flew from Grand Kai's planet in heaven all the way to hell, hundreds of billions of light years in half a minute. And that was in his base form.
Yeah, that's cool, but how about the power to squeeze mini
Oh,
juniors
yeah.
out of your butt? What?
Yeah, I
Never
forgot
heard of
about that part.
key technique? Call it the Eagle.
Perfect Cell was entirely without peer and, no longer wedded to Giro's petty grudge, decided to prove it with a tournament.
The Cell Games! And if Goku couldn't even beat him, what hope did anyone else have? Vegeta couldn't even handle a Cell Jr.
Their last hope was Goku's own son,
Gohan.
After Cell arrogantly let him power up, Gohan unleashed his rage, pushed the bug monster to his absolute limits. and
Yep.
beat
Super
him.
Saiyan 2 was
Wow,
more than
Cell,
enough.
You really are related to Vegeta, aren't you?
In truth, Cell was a victim of his own success. The same Saiyan genes that made him all-powerful also sowed the seeds of his defeat.
He got so mad he even blew himself up. Maybe he does have some Chaozu in him after all.
Even that wasn't
Yeah, he
enough to
does.
totally put him down.
Nah,
he
'cause
came
that
back
little
with
cell
the
cluster
same Super Saiyan
survived.
power-up that Gohan had just unlocked.
Super perfect Cell. Now with more lightning
Perfect
and a
for
battle
Cell.
for the ages, Cell put the entire weight of his biological programming against one lone Saiyan and went the distance.
But in the end, it still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
No matter how brilliantly Dr. Gero copied the Z-Fighters, he still couldn't quite figure out their knack for going beyond.
What can be destroyed can always be rebuilt. All it takes to
Yeah, how does Cell-
recreate
what-
the
where does
most
Cell Max
fearsome
go? I
warrior
never
in
watched
the
that movie.
universe is one single cell.
Maybe I should watch that movie. Imperfect Cell Max.
Time and again, the world and its cuddly forest critters were threatened by the evil and oval Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik.
And time and again, that same world and those same critters were saved by Sonic the Hedgehog. No matter
that's an
how
old
many
cartoon.
robotic badniks the good doctor threw at his blue spiky nemesis, his schemes were always 6 spin jumps to the glowing weak spot away from getting cracked and scrambled.
But it wouldn't be over easy for Eggman. If he couldn't defeat the Blue Blur, he would make his own, Metal Sonic.
Well, 0
Boom.
points on creativity for that name, but god damn, he does look metal as hell.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so Eggman built Metal with more than enough blast processing to match his prototype.
Metal can zoom around at massively hypersonic speeds, fast enough to fly to nearby planets in seconds.
He's tougher than Eggman's standard equipment, some of which can survive black holes.
Metal can use all of
How's that
Sonic's
possible?
power-ups and even replicate his
Oh,
classic
really?
spin dash and light speed attack.
So
But he's
all of
got
his
moves
power-ups?
of his own.
He can attack with energy blast, fire
He
a
might win
chest
then.
laser, surround himself in an electric aura, or an impenetrable force field.
By overloading his circuitry with energy, Metal can activate V Maximum Overdrive, quadrupling his acceleration and obliterating anything in his path.
Oh.
At the risk of self-destructing.
You'd think all that'd be enough to turn the rodent into roadkill, but it only took one showdown on Stardust Speedway to send Metal to the scrap heap.
Oh,
On paper,
that's
Metal
how he
should
lost.
be able to outmatch Sonic in every way, and yet he doesn't. for some reason, Eggman wasn't able to capture that ineffable quality that makes Sonic the fastest thing alive. Metal's defeats at the hands of Sonic and his friends sharpened his AI into a seething hatred of his rival and a burning desire to prove himself superior.
Yeah, well, when you're getting your supersized red ass handed
Wait,
to
is
you
that
by
him?
Charmy B, you know something's gone horribly wrong.
Metal's defeats gave him an existential crisis. If he was created to surpass Sonic and couldn't even manage that, what was he? Why should he exist?
Never one to admit defeat, Eggman took Metal back to the
Upgrades.
drawing
I
board
like it's just
and
gonna
birthed him anew.
hand thumbs
You-
up.
This Neo Metal Sonic was, above
Oh.
all, far smarter.
Especially after he copied Eggman's intelligence and took over his empire. And we mean literally copied.
Really?
If Metal started as Sonic's copycat, why not hunt all of his furry friends down and copy them too?
Neo Metal Sonic is equipped with
Ooh.
scanners in his optic receptors that can copy a person's biodata, giving him the ability to recreate all of their abilities in seconds.
Like the Sonic
Damn.
Boom, Knuckles' hammer
Got the fucking
punch,
shutting
Tails'
gun.
magical swiveling asshole, and Big's ability to
I'm sorry,
suck
what?
at fishing.
Metal isn't just learning their moves, he can replicate more esoteric powers like Silver Psychokinesis, manufacture Rouge's mechanical bat guards, or alter his very biology to copy Espio's chameleon invisibility. It's worth mentioning that biological
how?
data is a real scientific term and can refer to molecular structures like the genome sequence within a living organism's DNA.
Yeah, his copying is so busted, it doesn't really matter that he's a robot made of metal.
Okay, I'm feeling like he can win now, because if he's got that good of a copy ability, he might be able to copy all of Cell's techniques. No, copy all of Cell's copied techniques.
If you can do it, so can he. Probably helps that he can shapeshift and regenerate his whole body from a puddle.
Likely by copying one of the mightiest beings on the planet, the god of destruction, Chaos.
Not the only chaos he's encountered.
He
By
copied
scanning
that
the
too?
ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog, he gained his ability to manipulate some of the most powerful artifacts in the universe.
Chaos Emeralds?
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Obama
Yes,
chuckled.
the
He
emeralds contain an infinite
What's that?
wellspring of mystical power and life energy. With them, Metal can perform Shadow's chaos control. He can teleport, warp, and distort space, boost his speed, and stop time.
Yeah,
And
I was
with
gonna
either
say,
the
can't he
Chaos
stop
Emerald or
time?
Master Emerald, he can transform into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Ooh.
Completely invulnerable and completely golden. Super Neo Metal Sonic can move at faster than light speeds and has the power to move continents.
The emeralds are inconceivably powerful. They've been used to fuel Eggman's Death Egg, which could obliterate star systems.
On their own, they can even create and destroy whole universes.
Other super characters like Sonic have battled and defeated beings like the Time Eater, who could destroy multiple dimensions and timelines in seconds. At their peak, 3 super hedgehogs have even fought Solaris, who nearly consumed Sonic's entire multiverse.
So
Oh.
Super Neo Metal Sonic should be just as powerful as any of them. Though he's gotta be
Yes.
quick because all that power only lasts a short time.
The road to total domination was nearly at an end. After manipulating Sonic and friends and copying their abilities, Metal eventually combined their biodata with the mighty Egg Fleet and became Metal
Oh, what the
Overlord.
fuck is
Complete
that?
with missiles, giant crystal projectiles,
It kinda looks
and the
cool.
strength to match 3 supersonic heroes all by himself. Overlord is all-time final boss material.
And he knew it. His ego might as well have had its own health bar. Metal's drive to surpass his rival had morphed into the delusional belief that he was the original and Sonic the loathsome copy.
A copy that Metal had finally outclassed. All the heroes Metal had gathered had to team up to take him down.
He may have stolen their abilities, but Metal never possessed the thing that made the Sonic heroes successful. Their friendship
Because they're
and
Sonic
teamwork.
heroes.
Aw, how cute! Gag. Probably should have added some of those goddamn rails to the final boss fight, because it is impossible to land on those things. After getting trashed again, Eggman reprogrammed Metal to purge any bits of rebelliousness from his code.
Metal returned to being the Eggman Army's chief enforcer, always proving invaluable as the Bad Doctor's greatest creation, now completely obedient once again.
I don't know, Wiz. Who knows what's really going on behind those glowing red eyes? Maybe Metal is more cunning than he lets on, and is only
Maybe.
biding his time until he can take over again.
Probably.
Maybe the most powerful thing that Metal copied was the ability to lie.
You know, after hearing all that, I think Metal Sonic's gonna win. Honestly, he can regenerate. If he can regenerate, he can copy abilities. and use them regardless of fucking everything, and is able to become strong enough to fight against three super, characters: Super Sonic, Super Knuckles, Super Tails. And it took 3 super characters to beat a god that was trying to destroy all the multiverses. And he was just as strong as them. Yeah, I don't think Cell's got a chance. I don't know. Maybe. I might have missed something, so
All right,
who knows
the
how it
combatants
goes.
are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Betting money on Metal Sonic, though. Let's go. Let's see how it goes. I'm assuming that's Cell.
Salutations,
Yep.
Dr. Robotnik. Your reputation precedes you. Bring me your strongest fighter, or face... Then prepare to kneel before your master. Perfect.
It was a multiform technique. Yeah, I don't think they just get him through that. Special beam cannon! I wonder if he's gonna copy the multiform.
Machine like yourself ever experience fear?
Here. Ah, there's that Vegeta in him. Oh, damn. Already with this form? Okay. I thought it'd be doing a lot more before going into this form, but okay. Is that the fucking Death Star? Whatever it is, it's getting thrown at him.
Fool, you're dealing with the ultimate life form. I already possess his data. Observe. Chaos! Done.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Time stoppage.
Life form data successfully copied.
There you go. Took off the arm.
It'll take more than that to kill me. Puppet!
Yeah. I wasn't expecting him to go right into that final form thing.
Now I know everything about you, insect.
Yeah, there goes the super form. Please no. Just that was just so terrible. Well, Earth's not surviving this though. Oh.
Don't you dare.
Don't you fucking dare. The fucking drama from Tien. No. Don't turn triangles into fucking squares. No fucking beam clash for the ages.
Warrior in the universe. I am all of them.
I don't think, yeah.
You are all of them. And so am I. I'll never lose to a machine like.
Yeah, well. Are they going to show that one little cell being destroyed or no? Oh, there it is. Oh.
I'll crush you.
That was a pretty big cluster of cells, actually.
Oh, now Metal's got all the powers of the Chaos Emeralds and the Z Fighters?
Yep.
Well, that world's fucked. Our bad.
Sal may have been
The fucking him doing the Shinky horn cell's just standing there like, don't you fucking dare. The fucking PTSD.
one of the greatest threats in Dragon Ball Z, Goten's greatest creation ultimately proved too much for him. Let's break this down into 4 categories: strength, speed, abilities, and adaptation.
First up, who was
Oh,
the strongest?
oh, he's got
well,
the
it's no
adaptation
surprise
down, that's
that
for sure.
any version of Cell was gonna be way more powerful than base Metal or Neo. Even just using the manga, blowing up a solar system is far beyond the level of power output Metal can match.
Without his stronger forms. With them, the power gap entirely reversed. Not only could Metal match Cell's solar system busting or scaling from Frieza, but he could surpass it with the universe-destroying power of the Emeralds.
But hang on, Wiz. Those Namekians said that Cell was strong enough to threaten a universe on his own.
They did, but they didn't specify how, and there's nothing suggesting he could destroy it in one go, especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Even being generous and assuming he could just blow it up, final bosses like Time Eater and Solaris can destroy the wider multiverse.
Yep.
Super Neo Metal would scale to them. Metal Sonic takes the edge in strength.
And with Sonic characters being known for their speed, you might think that was an easy win for Metal.
At his max speed in his super form, he should be comparable to entities like the Time Eater, who in Shadow Generations can destroy entire universes in seconds. By using the radius of the observable universe, we can estimate the Time Eater's destructive wave traveled at about 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Certainly
Damn, that's
impressive,
fast.
but let's compare that to Goku's flight from heaven to hell shortly after the Cell games, which covered roughly a universe in distance at approximately 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Hey, just like Time Eater. The difference, though, was that Goku was in his base
form.
way slower than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Super Perfect Cell.
Factoring in Super Saiyan multipliers, Super Perfect Cell can move upwards of 100 times faster than that, and so 100 times faster than Metal Sonic. Somehow, Cell takes the edge in speed.
That's
You
interesting.
know, the thing Metal was designed for.
And also, he can still
Expecting
teleport
that,
too.
Let's see if any of their abilities could tip the scales.
They shared many of the same powers, like telekinesis, force fields, and energy projectiles. Of note though, Cell's regeneration was clearly superior, able to fully heal from a single cluster of microscopic cells.
On top of that, Cell's Saiyan genes would let him grow in power every time he almost died, and his Cell Juniors gave him the numbers advantage.
And considering Super Neo Metal had a time limit, Cell would have a big advantage in a battle of attrition.
But with Chaos Control, that became a lot tougher.
Cell and his juniors had no way to deal with Metal boosting his speed or stopping time, something
Yeah,
that
that's for
countered
sure.
Cell's speed advantage and left him open. And with Silver's psychokinesis, or the Emerald spatial distortion, Metal could seriously impair Cell's healing.
So it helped that Cell could fall back on his martial arts abilities in a pinch.
Despite effectively being a newborn, Cell's genetic instincts allowed him to best Earth's most skilled warriors back to back to back.
Metal may have copied Eggman's brains, but he definitely isn't as good of a fighter. The Sonic heroes haven't trained like the Z fighters, and Metal's been beaten by all of them a bunch of times. So all that in mind, abilities is roughly a wash.
Which leaves us with the one thing they're both known for: their capability to evolve and become more powerful in response to their opponents.
So his is
AKA
better,
their
though.
Adaptation.
His
And
adaptation's
frankly,
better since
that's
he
where
can
this
copy.
back and forth completely breaks. Because at the end of the day, Metal can copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb Metal.
Cell's ability to physically absorb an opponent is primarily viable against foes he can match or overpower.
Even if he took Metal by surprise, he can't absorb fully inorganic robots
Yeah,
like
no.
Android 16.
Cell was only able to absorb androids 17 and 18 because they were primarily organic.
They're actually more like cyborgs and are only called androids in the English translation.
Metal, on the other hand, can copy a target's biodata through only a few seconds of direct eyesight, something he could easily accomplish during a time stop.
And using it on Cell means he wouldn't just get Cell's powers, but the powers
Yep,
of all the Z
fighters.
Warriors too.
Yep.
Remember, Metal's copying applies to abilities that
That's how he
fundamentally
got
affect
the
his own
fucking
biology,
Shinki
like
Koho.
Espio's invincibility or Chaos's liquid body. Nothing Cell has would be off limits, especially given all of Cell's powers were genetically encoded in the first place. Quite literally, biodata.
Cell's Saiyan power-ups? Copied. Cell's regeneration?
Copied.
Cell's key techniques? Believe it
Copied.
or not, copied.
Chaos Emeralds are described as being able to produce life energy, similar to Ki. So there's a precedent for him being able to replicate Cell's power set. And at this point, there's nothing stopping Metal from, say, stopping time and using a Kamehameha to vaporize him at a cellular level.
Yeah.
Just like Gohan did.
Yeah.
Cell might be able to do anything the Z fighters know how to do, but that's not gonna help him, because Metal can do anything Cell knows how to do.
So it sounds like all he needed was the Chaos Emeralds and stopping time. That's about it. The speed doesn't even matter at that point, does it?
strange, isn't it?
Cell just doesn't have any options to retaliate that Metal wouldn't also possess, including any of his previous advantages. Metal's copy ability is just that overpowered.
Oh, I guess now I get why they called it Sonic CD.
Why's that?
Cell died. Wiz, you
Fucking
get it? CD? Wiz?
That wasn't even a
back.
pun. That wasn't
Next
even a
time
pun.
on Death Battle.
Oh, what's the next one? Is that... Oh, they're actually doing Bakugo versus...
Subscribe and join as a member
Reze?
to see more
Okay.
Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
I did hear that was a big debate on the internet at some point. Huh, that one should be interesting. That one's... I feel like that one's probably going to be really controversial no matter which way that thing falls. And everybody's already picked a side, so whichever side loses is not going to accept that gracefully. I can see it already. Oh my god. Twitter's going to go fucking crazy. But yeah, no, that one pretty much turned out exactly how I thought it would. It was Metal Sonic after hearing everything. Yeah, after hearing that he's able to become as strong as something that was able to threaten the multiverses of Sonic, yeah, that was already game over. But yeah, no. I bet on Metal Sonic after all that. Let me know who you bet on after hearing everything. And if you regret your bets. But yeah, until next time, y'all. Thanks for watching. And goodbye.